So this is Roger from the LNTMS podcast, and we got a special guest and for a little special segment. Antoine, I guess you want to shout out your YouTube page?
My YouTube page is Fancy Space Ant 7, Fancy Ant 7.
And I'm gonna put the link in the details below. So if y'all enjoy this video, go ahead and check him out. But
Please.
so spoiler alert, we will be talking about what happened throughout the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. So if you have not seen the movie yet, please do not get in the comments like we spoiled it for you. You don't got to watch this video if you haven't seen the movie yet. So I think I found out. So obviously I'm Black. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man. You know what I wanted to see. That's I love the movie. I love the movie. And like the audience rate was 99%. I was like, no, that's stupid. It should be 100%. The movie was great. But I think I know when I wanted to see Miles. And I think it would have been so cool if they did it. You know, when Ned did the Show Me Peter Parker, and then you got Andrew Garfield, Show Me Peter Parker, and they got Tobey Maguire. If they would have did Show Me Spider-Man, and then you just saw like a random Black kid, and they were like, wait, huh? And he looked back like, what?
And they closed, and then
they just closed.
That would have been dope.
I think, oh my God, I'll just shit my pants.
Yeah. Because I got hyped when Jamie Foxx was like, you know, he brought up when there was a setup for the Black Spider-Man, like, I'm Black, and he said, I was like, oh shit, either they're gonna do it in this movie or there's gonna be like some type of like, because that was a little jab at it already. Yeah. And I thought they was gonna put something else into that, like by the end of the movie, but they didn't. But I'm sure that was some type of setup in like 2025 or 2023 or some shit like that for Miles.
They had it because I thought the second cutscene might have played with it, but obviously they did Multiverse Madness, which I mean it made sense with Doctor Strange being the movie. But I had a feeling like one of the cutscenes would have been Miles. I just had it. I'm sure there were Easter eggs through it, especially like with the whole feast thing with Aunt May's organization. They probably had Easter eggs in there, but I mean it still is a great movie. And I think what also is with the Young Avengers coming up, like America Chavez, Miss Marvel is going to be in the Marvels, Kate Bishop, and all of them. I was like, okay, they have to be introducing Miles sooner or later. Now I think Isaiah Bradley's grandson's in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, but I mean, they say it still was a great movie. Like it
was
expectations so high. Perfect.
Yeah, by far. Like, and I don't say these words lightly. Like the best movie I've seen this year, and it got me genuinely happy, especially with all having Tobey Maguire in it, where most of us have grew up with that Spider-Man. Yeah. And then like I wasn't like the biggest Andrew Garfield fan, but I mean it was still nice to see him in there. Like I was like oh shit, Andrew Garfield's in there. Like I'm gonna get hyped for him too. The movie theater was clapping every time these characters came. Doc Ock, Electro. Even the Sandman got his little claps, but mainly when Tobey Maguire came in, that's when everyone even I don't even applaud like that, but even I was like, hey, what? This shit's pretty dope. And I was looking around like people behind us. I was like, okay. So
I know Andrew Garfield. I didn't really like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I think he provided the perfect comic relief because after that, Tom Holland wasn't going to be comedic anymore after what happened with Aunt May. So, it was just, I think just Andrew Garfield's personality was perfect.
What's it called? Comedic relief, comic relief, or something like that. Something we learned in English class, comic relief in a serious situation and shit like that. So like, there's like the whole little, they didn't do the pointing meme thing, which I thought they were going to do, but they did have a little, little go around with like, hey, so where's your web come from? And like, man, bro, you're amazing. When Andrew Garfield was like, talking down on himself, he was like, man, you guys are so cool. I'm not. And like, Tobey was like, you're amazing. Yeah. And then, Tom Holland was up there, was like, hey, where does your web come from? And then, he started explaining that whole ordeal and stuff. And he's like, so that material was made inside of you? And like, I guess the audience, we got a big kick out of that. I know I did, because that was really good. That was a good little interaction between all three of them. Yeah. So.
Well, I think too, it was just funny with Andrew Garfield with that whole like y'all are cool, I'm not. It's just because like from fans that I know, his series was the one that they don't like. So he's like, oh no, y'all are the cool ones. I'm just over here, like,
Yeah. It might,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't even look at it like that, like a little jab at himself, because a lot of people didn't like that. He was like, to me, he was like too cool of a Spider-Man. Like
yeah,
he was like
yeah,
a cool smart guy. He wasn't like an actual nerdy smart like guy, unpopular to me, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. So it was cool. I think just Charlie Cox also that cameo that was dope, especially knowing that spoiler alert again, Kingpin's in Hawkeye. So just
Yeah.
seeing Charlie Cox will be in Matt Murdock, now it's like, okay, is the Defenders coming back in? Like, I think that all was cool. But I guess, did you have any parts of that movie that just stood out to you other than like what we already discussed? That
Um, it stood out to me because I couldn't put a finger on like how old was Tobey Maguire supposed to be. Was because Doc Ock was like, Peter, you've grown up. I didn't know that meant like he was supposed to be in his 40s, or were they trying to like make him look younger, like he was in his maybe like early 30s or something, like, or late 20s. I don't understand that part. That's what I didn't truly. Was he supposed to be like an older Spider-Man, or I didn't understand it completely.
yeah,
I tried.
I wonder, you have a that's actually a good point, because when they were pretty much saying that they were pulled right before they died. So when they pulled it, because Andrew Garfield told a story about, no, after it passed away, I stopped pulling my punches, as if like he kept going. So I think it was they came from a future time, but I guess that's one of those loopholes where they're just like, I mean, y'all y'all know Tobey Maguire is old. So
Yeah,
I don't know, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I wonder
Just
if they actually like. I wonder because if he actually looks like that, good on him. Still looking like pretty decent, no homo. Like still looking like decent, like at that age and everything. Like um, you know, he aged well, and he's just like, yeah. If they didn't use any like visual effects on him, that's
yeah,
pretty
it
good.
didn't look like it. Yeah, it definitely didn't look
So
like it.
what else? I was gonna say something else. Dang, I forgot. You got any more questions? It'll probably pop back up.
Well, no,
What I was
so
thinking.
the parts that I'm happy there are certain parts that you didn't look at me, because when Aunt May died, the tear was coming down, because
Oh
I was like,
yeah,
holy shit. I didn't expect it to be that early. With all the destruction, I was like, it's no way it's gonna happen now. And then when she died, and then like I figured she had to be bleeding, because that's how, pretty much with the thing hitting her, I was like, wait, that's how ended up killing himself, even though it was like different. But his glider like impaled. So I was like, oh wow, like that glider just hit her. So that got me choked up. Andrew Garfield saving MJ.
oh yeah, that was sad. That got me a little bit.
Yeah,
I
that
had,
was
I'm
crazy.
not gonna lie, I had a little gangster tear. I was like,
Yeah. And then
uh,
you can tell she was like, why are you crying? And he was just like, just not, he just don't get it. And then I think
crowd clap for that one too. They
yeah,
they clap
yeah.
for that.
And
Second
then
chances.
the scene where he told them that they would never see him, like they were going to forget about him, that got me a little choked up too, because it's like seeing, I guess, MJ getting that emotional, given her characters like sarcasm throughout the whole thing. I was like, oh wow, like that's actually tough. But that was pretty much it. And I loved how even though it made sense, because he's the one person you can remove his problem and he still had powers. I liked how they used Doc Ock, just even from the beginning, where he was like, wait, what the hell, like you're not Peter. And it makes sense now how his things, you can just hack into him. So
Yeah,
that's the perfect way. Like that's how Tony Stark would have done it. So seeing Peter do it, it was just like, that's actually dope, because that's exactly how like you would resolve that issue like
yeah.
now.
I like how Peter didn't know that he could do that, and Doc Ock wasn't expecting that. Being like, this guy's like a genius, like
Yeah,
also. So most of these people, most of these dudes are like really smart. All these villains and stuff
yeah,
were pretty decently smart. Well, at least three of them, at least. But yeah, like he didn't know that either. So that like I like the way that showed that back in like what the early 2000s when that movie came out,
mhm,
like we had no idea, like almost 20 years later, nanotechnology could have stopped Doc Doc, and that would have been the end of the movie, the Tobey
yeah,
Maguire movie. Like if
yeah.
there
Just
was
on some like
nanotechnology.
watchdogs, on some watchdogs type thing. Just like, oh, hey, all right.
Yeah, like that's just like boom, like he was defeated. That would have stopped the whole what was it, the first movie, the whole first movie
Second. Yeah, second.
second,
First one
the
was
whole
Green
second.
Goblin. Yeah,
Oh
second
shit,
is
yeah.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
That would have stopped the whole second movie back then. Like
Yeah.
if there was nanotechnology and they knew how to do that.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty dope. And then like he ended up once they fixed a little thing that was making him like
Yeah.
angry. I'm surprised that they didn't talk about like they didn't bring up when they were talking about how they could fix these people and all that and give them a second chance. I'm surprised he didn't bring up how like because his wife died, Doc Ock. Like they didn't bring that up. I don't think did they?
Didn't
Because you remember?
was it during that scene at the end? Is she died? Did she die in that scene at the end when he died?
No, he went evil because she died in him doing an experiment in the lab and something exploded. I think if I recall
Damn.
correctly, like
I don't know. I may actually rewatch that tonight because they're on Peacock now. I may actually rewatch it. I don't remember exactly.
something like that. I know she died in an explosion and he thought it was Peter's fault, and that's when he became evil or something like that. All I know is his wife died and he got mad as hell.
Uh,
So
that also brings a question. So when they were saying the people that knew who Spider-Man was came to the thing, I mean, and if it had to be before they died, because at first I was like Gwen Stacy died, but I mean all these people died too. Now I was like, I wonder where it was Gwen Stacy. I was wondering where it was the original Mary Jane. I like with Kirsten Dunst. There were so many things. Like I understand that's us being like too picky, and I
yeah,
think
that's
it
probably
was good.
that's probably a gray area because then they were like, damn, now we gotta pay these actors to
Yeah,
come back, and they're probably like, we could just play it off as like only the people that were like looking for Spider-Man, even if they were dead in their own universes, we're only gonna bring back like the villains and it would get too complex to bring back Gwen Stacy and then like all these extras and yeah they could probably use that play that role
yeah,
play that
yeah.
card.
And we talked about it after because even though I know it was like leaks that everyone saw Andrew Garfield on set, I'm surprised it wasn't leaked that Tobey Maguire was on set. But
Mm-hmm.
if
They did
you
a
had all
good
those actors coming in, yeah, that definitely would have got. They were like, oh, Kirsten Dunst is on set of the No Way
a
Home
good
thing. It's like, oh yeah,
fucking
there you
well
go.
kept secret, a well
Yeah,
kept secret with the Tobey Maguire. And oh my gosh, like I was genuinely happy when he came on screen. I haven't been this happy in months. And like he came on stage, I was like, I mean, he came on screen. I was like, I was so hyped because that's the OG. Like I
yeah,
mean,
that's dude. Spider-Man 3, like the was it Sam Raimi the first like series. That
mhm.
movie is so bad when you rewatch it now. When you rewatch it now, it's bad. But when I was a kid, that was the greatest movie
Yeah,
of all time.
hell
I
yeah.
was so hyped when I saw it. I had the video game, like I was like, oh my God. But yeah, like so yeah, seeing him, yeah, I definitely like the lady
We didn't know
beside
any
me. I was
better.
like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
was like, ah, like,
we didn't know any better. And now it's like the crazy part is now that we're in like the meme era, it's like people make the memes from that movie. Like,
yeah.
it's like the doing that dumbass dance and like the whole like
Or I'll
I'm gonna
pay the
put
rent when you fix this damn door.
yeah, I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye and shit and like he's gonna and like my back and then they made the reference in this movie they're like he was
Yeah.
like my back hurts and he's like bending over the rail. So that shit was funny to me. He's like
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's like, oh yeah, my lower back too, and the whole cracking his back scene. It was just like really fun to see that interaction
Yeah.
between. Yeah, I was just hyped. Like I literally I told my girl I was like, I saw it yesterday, but if you're trying to see it again, I'll be down. Like so, yeah.
Cause I
Um,
honestly I felt bad when I ordered tickets because I was like, I should have asked you first if she wanted to come.
oh
Because
nah,
when I ordered two, I was like, oh shit. Cause what luckily, because how some people were coming in, they double book seats. I was like, yo, there are seats at the front. I understand a lot of people didn't want to sit at the front, but I mean, y'all could have still saw the movie.
yeah.
It's just sit in the front.
Hey,
But
she didn't say nothing. So, closed mouths don't get fed. So, I was like, I know you're my girl and all that, but hey, this is Spider-Man. It's you or Spider-Man, and I guarantee I'm gonna pick Spider-Man every time. I hope she ain't hear that. Whatever. But it is what it is.
So
And to show your audience how much of a Spider-Man fan I am, I gotta show them. Look, guys, Spider-Man fan, whole Spider-Man fan. It hurt like a mofo, but yeah, that's how much of a Spider-Man fan I am.
I would have tried
Preferably
to
the
squeeze
black
into my suit.
Spider-Man, but I like the normal Spider-Man, like Tobey, Andrew,
I
Holland.
was gonna try to squeeze into my suit, but I was like, nah, it's gonna hurt getting it off. So
Yeah, like I used to be really flexible. I used to be able to like get the zipper, which was like all the way up here. I can't do that no more. Like